So good morning, everyone. My name is David Robertson. I'm the Chief Executive for Scottish Borders Council, and what I wanted to talk to you about this morning was really the challenges of service delivery in a rural region, and how we've used technology to try and overcome some of those challenges. So, really, where's the Scottish Borders? Well, the Scottish Borders is a very rural area, as the slide says there, set amongst breathtaking countryside, rich in culture and heritage, and renowned for a warm welcome. And we hope that in this rural region we offer an excellent quality of life. But being a large rural authority, that does present us with significant challenges in terms of service delivery, and indeed challenges in terms of the background, the backdrop in which we deliver those services. So we have a very low wage economy. We have a growing aging population, a lower percentage of working people in other areas of Scotland. 45% of our population are of working age, compared to an average of around 60% in other areas, and that in itself presents challenges in terms of public service delivery. We also struggle with being a rural region with some quite high elements of fuel poverty and low levels of digital connectivity across much of the region. Where is the Scottish Borders? Well, hopefully you can see there a map of Scotland. We're in the very southeast corner of the country. We are to the north of the Scottish border. Obviously, we adjoin Northumberland Council, and the centre of the borders are around 40 miles south of Edinburgh, around 80 miles from Newcastle. We are the fourth most rural region in mainland Scotland, quite a very large geographical area. Around 116,000 people live in the region, very dispersed settlement pattern, no big or urban centre, around 25 people per square kilometre. So if you do live in an urban area, you can imagine quite how rural the Borders actually is. And that presents major challenges in terms of our digital connectivity, to allow people to live in the modern world. Most of the Borders is covered by only one mobile network operator. We have many not spots across the region. The expansive landscape makes the region's topography makes mobile connectivity challenging, and just the physical process of laying cabling across such a large area makes it impossible for some places to have high quality broadband at the current time. What we are doing in response to that is looking at initiatives such as the shared rural network and Starlink and all the rest of it. These things are improving the position and running to 2027. So we're trying to do what we can on the ground now, and there are various initiatives ongoing. The Scottish Government are about an R100 fibre broadband rollout, which is connecting communities across many of Scotland's rural regions. But we're also working in partnership with other councils, such as Edinburgh, and through a couple of city deals, the South of Scotland City Region deal and the Borderlands Inclusive Growth deal, which includes the 5 local authorities who straddle the border between England and Scotland, to really leverage in investment into the area and trying to work closely across the public and private sector to try and tackle some of the challenges that our residents face. And this slide, I suppose, just kind of sets out in terms of our population, some of the challenges we have around our people. You'll see there in the middle of the graph, the reduction in the number of young adults that we've seen in the last few years, with a 22.9% reduction in the 25 to 44 age groups. So these are the people we really need to be driving our economy, and we've seen some significant decreases in that age cohort, while seeing some very significant increases in the cohort aged 65 to 74 and older, and that has some very significant implications for service delivery, significant implications around resource allocation between in terms of the services that we are delivering locally. And I suppose really where I'm going with this is to say, look, all these challenges have made us really think very carefully about how we can respond to those challenges, and how we can adopt digital solutions to help us address issues that are simply not going away in terms of our rural region. In response to some of that, we've set out a very clear vision around developing a smart rural region, embracing the advantages of technology, and really trying to ensure that in all our work, technology works for our citizens, for our communities, for our local businesses, and we've done a lot of work using technology to ensure that we have a future skilled workforce through our digital online inspired learning program, and really applying digital technology to try to transform our service delivery. In 2013, the council set out on its first sort of major piece of transformation work, a 5-year plan to try and modernise the council. We're now in the second phase of that, and we've done a huge amount of work in terms of technology. In terms of transforming the organisation, allowing us to take something like £74 million out of the cost base over that period. And our DCA programme really was a foundational part of that council plan, which is aiming, as I said, to make the Borders one of the first smart rural regions in the UK, allowing council communication channels to be responsible to council to customer feedback, to support inclusion, and to try and encourage a greater degree of community wealth building in terms of our communities, through sharing information, basing our decisions on good data, and enhancing the services the council can provide to its citizens through a digital platform. Our ambition here really was to try and provide and enhance services and empower citizens, while allowing the council to leverage savings based on more efficient processes and a reduced number of systems. And by utilising the Jadu platform, that's allowed us to bring together data to allow investment, not just in council services, but also to invest across the borders, leveraging the benefits that technology brings to support better outcomes for everybody who lives and works here. So what we've tried to do with this is really to adopt the mantra, digital by choice. Here if you need us. Person-centred approach to service transformation. So if people still want to speak to us, they can do that, but very much trying to push the benefits of online digital interaction that Suraj has outlined already in terms of his presentation. Part of our thinking around this is obviously to put people and the user experience at the centre of our approach. This was at the heart of our vision, to create a digital platform that offered an intuitive, user-friendly interface for our residents to access our services and to interact with us as a council, that put in a way that's never been possible before. trying to do here really is to give residents a consistent multi-channel access to our services, to provide them with better information, better content, enhanced reporting functionality, to allow a two-way dialogue with our citizens, and really to give the people of the borders control over their data, and give control to the council, to the customer, sorry, rather than that control sitting with the council. What we're trying to do here is to ensure that we have services designed so well that people want to come back, that they really value and find the digital customer services that we're offering a medium of choice, and they can access those in a way and at a time of their choosing. So really trying to ensure that when people interact with the council, that's as easy as possible, while at the same time allowing them a choice which reflects our age demographic and connectivity challenge. So in terms of taking forward that digital customer access project, we've really tried to set out a project which is determined based on a number of success criteria, increased customer choice, an improved customer experience, and evidenced channel shift to digital. And it was a project really which sought to deploy Jadu as the council's enterprise back office system, while decommissioning our incumbent legacy systems, re-engineering many of our internal processes, many of which were still paper-based and hadn't been done previously online, and allowing us to begin to develop services that customers really want and value, and encouraging them to self-serve wherever possible. So this digital customer access programme, I suppose, was the first step in reinventing digital interface of Scottish Borders Council, using the transformational power of technology to improve the user experience, harness the power of data, and really drive data-based decision making through the organisation. Quite a sort of revolutionary concept for us, I suppose. The project really involved creating a portal. Customers create their own My Scott Borders account, where they can view their personal information, track their requests, manage their preference. And the DCA project is not just going to deal with individuals, customers, but also we're seeking to roll that out to businesses, community groups very soon. And what we really feel with this is that the My Scott Borders account closes the loop between our back office functionality and our customer communication through a very intuitive, user-friendly online portal, where people can access a wide variety of different services, including paying for council tax, reporting issues, scheduling appointments with the council, and that they can do so from the comfort of their armchair, and conveniently using their own device at a time of their choosing. So we're very much feeling that the digital customer access project delivers benefits to our customers in terms of improved service, but also benefits the council, joining up our services, using our data very effectively, and adopting much better ways of working. So really what we're seeing here is technology becoming a cornerstone of our service provision in a sort of post-COVID world. The DCA project has allowed us to provide intuitive forums to gather data both during COVID and afterwards. And what we're really trying to do here, I suppose, is to build on the accelerated digital literacy that we've seen it develop in our communities during a time of national crisis, and trying to encourage that direction of travel, so that the residents can use digital platforms as the simplest way to access services. So really, that's all very well. I mean, that's talking about the technology and what we're doing, but we do see the digital platforms has been a key way of delivering our council plan, and we have 6 very quite simple, really. Overarching themes to our plan. Those are based around the economy, and ensuring that our communities in the borders are empowered and vibrant. That we fulfil the potential of our young people through our schools. That we encourage good health and well-being, drive a strong inclusive economy, and that we work together to improve the lives of local people with our communities and our strategic partners. And our digital approach has really been tailored to try to push forward the objectives set out in our council plan and really deliver on those 6 key priorities for our region. So, where are we on the journey with this? Well, we've to date we've delivered over 300 online Jadu forms, which have been created to support most areas of service delivery across the council. As a rural authority, a small rural authority, we're around 2% of the total local authority budget in Scotland. We can't achieve the large volumes of urban councils. Siraj outlined Birmingham, for example. We're nowhere near that. So we have to take a whole system approach to our change. Focus on our priorities very, very carefully. Use our limited resources to target where they can be most effective, and develop solutions corporately that can be rolled out to provide economies of scale across a spectrum of inquiries. Really, what we're seeking to do is to use Jadu to adopt a process of continuous development, and for us to target a wide range of savings and efficiencies through our business processes across the organisation, removing manual effort, joining up systems, and targeting initially those areas where we feel we can make the most impact. First of all, so we've deployed a number of forms using Jadu to support our COVID pandemic work. Around 10% of those forms of case management functionality. We've done things like deployed online forms for our recycling centred booking for larger vehicles and trailers, with over 37,000 bookings across our 7 sites sitting there to the 1st of April. We've had used the functionality to address missed waste collections. That's a big challenge for us in this large rural region with over 1,800 miles of roads. The form that we've developed for our missed waste collections triages, the report that we've got, and allows us to respond very very quickly and effectively to those issues. We've used Jadu for school enrolment. We've had over 4,000 applications for school placing requests since November 2021, and Jadu allows us to ensure that the whole enrolment process is fully case managed from start to finish, whereas before that was basically a paper-based system. And we're using Jadu, as I've mentioned, our Inspire Learning program already, which rolled out iPads to all children across the borders during COVID. We're using technology which Jadu have enabled us with, to allow pupils to come in and to build their own forums in our website. Quite an exciting project, taking the art of Jadu and technology right into the classroom in a very practical way. This slide, I'm not going to dwell on this in any way, but these are just some of the forms that we've developed in areas such as domestic and trade waste, education, roads and transport, council tax, and environmental health. We've just a second slide setting out some of the work we've done. In October 2022, we went live with a corporate complaints process following the sort of judgment from following the model system set down by the Scottish Public Sector Ombudsman's complaint handling procedure, and that's been transformative in terms of the way that we're managing services across the council, and because complaints touch in every area of the council, they are sort of a bit of gold dust in terms of us improving what we're doing. But this means essentially that every service across the council is now using Jadu in some form to respond to customer issues. One issue that's very, very, very big in the borders is winter, being a very being part of Scotland and in the Northern Hemisphere. We have 2 seasons in the borders. We've got winter and June. Winter weather brings a significant number of challenges to us. You maybe have seen on the news recently that some of the impacts of that's hit Scotland and indeed the south of England through the winter. But the team have really worked with our neighbourhoods and roads teams to allow a form to be developed to triage customer winter health winter requests around gritting and snow clearance. And that's seen a huge reduction in the number of reports and requests that we've had for specific assistance, and compared to previous years. It's allowed us to manage customer expectations much more effectively, and really allowed us to communicate when and where gritting would be done in line with our winter weather plan. We've also used Jadu technology to deal with the thorny issue of dog fouling, allowing people to locate where a problem has been identified on a map, and then pulling that information into our Power BI reporting system, allowing our environmental health colleagues to address those issues and target problem areas. The life of a local government officer is never far from dog fouling, as we know. So just turning to some specific real success stories that we've had, we've targeted Jadu functionality to look at our school transport. School transport in such a large rural region, nine secondary schools, over 50 primary schools. Transport's a huge issue for us. We've used Jadu to manage 3,000 applications for the allocation of school bus passes, using software there to also assist us with the management of 26 school transport contracts, and that logistical exercise has allowed us to take over £700,000 out of the school transport costs, in terms of a more efficient operation of our transport. Using Jadu to analyse what we're doing, we've found that there were over 4,100 seats available on our buses, and a lot of them were running at around 80% of capacity. So the application of technology really has allowed us to develop a approach to our school transport system, which is much more efficient and effective, and perhaps more importantly, has proved really popular with parents and kids themselves. And since we've introduced this system, the number of issues that we've had to address with school transport has reduced remarkably. So we've really tried to modernise that system using technology, using GIS, replanned our whole routes and approach to home to school transport, and delivered some really significant benefits in terms of our transport system. Other advantages there, we've managed to order bus passes from an external printer, saving staff time. We've distributed bus passes early this year, so kids knew what bus they were getting on and when they were getting a bus pass in in June rather than in August. It's allowed us to do a significant piece of work assessing the safety of walking routes to school for school entitlement, and it's really transformed the transfer of information between our transport team and our schools. So that whole communication piece has been vitally important in terms of the delivery of an optimised system of school transport, which has delivered some significant benefits for the council, for our schools, and more importantly for parents and children. Another wee good example, really, just in terms of our registration services, births, deaths, and marriages. We've created a Jadu forum there to allow people to order and pay for copies, certificates online. Over 1,700 certificates ordered since December 2021. We've basically removed the need for a 15-minute registrar appointment, saving over 400 hours of scarce, precious registrar time, and over 900 people have been engaged in that process. So really, again, we've moved from quite a traditional paper-based face-to-face service to one where we've delivered a significant improvement online, and the feedback that we've had from customers in that area, again, very, very positive. And this one, an issue around providing support to Ukrainian refugees, working collaboratively across the council, full end-to-end process being put in place to ensure that we can appropriately meet the needs of the few hundred Ukrainian refugees which we have in that area. We've really transformed what we've done there, stopped the paper chase around the organisation with different parts of the process moving between departments, created one system, and ensured that in our support to Ukrainian refugees, that all processes went through all the correct checks, ensuring that the safety of those who are coming here, and that we could meet their requirements, and indeed the requirements of those who were hosting them online. And that process has involved people from our social work service, from our housing strategy team, from environmental health, and really has ensured that we can meet their needs as effectively as possible. So I suppose the message I'm trying to get across here is that the work that we've done with Jadu in transforming our online process really does give us a rich information source about how our customers are using our services, and the opportunity to use the Jadu platform really allows us to leverage data to not only save money through process improvements, but also to improve the service that we're giving to our customers, and improve the customer's experience, ensuring that they're presented with a unified interface, which makes what they're trying to do with us really, really easy. And this is a principle that we're trying to roll out right across the organisation, sort of digital front door piece with Jadu as our enterprise solution across the council. So where to next? Well, we've been looking at some extensive community engagement with our communities. We've sent out a range of surveys and workshops with our staff, our residents, and groups across the region, and we've got a number of recommendations coming forward from that process, which have allowed us to reflect on the success of our DCA project so far, but influenced the future direction of travel in terms of our digital journey moving forward. We've also been looking at our whole approach to systems underpinning the automation of our digital processes, set up a centralised systems admin team to really support the work that we're doing in terms of DCA, and created new governance structures based on that sort of unified approach to the unified approach to the customer. Where this is really taking us now is looking across the board at opportunities to rationalise systems, take cost out of the business, manage our suppliers more effectively, and we've started that process from a background of around 77 key systems, even for this small council. So the opportunity to leverage efficiency savings from rationalising that landscape is very significant. DCA projects was has allowed officers to really engage very effectively with Jadu. Steep learning curve, but a very worthwhile process as we reshape and redesign and improve our online customer offering. So more than just a lick of paint, however, on the digital front door, we've also we've also been looking at how we engage our communities much more effectively in terms of the design of services. It's opened up a whole raft of opportunities around co-production with our communities, and as an initial start of that process, we've started to look at enhancing the council's website. It's quite an old website at the moment, so we're working with Jadu to ensure that the website that we have is as effective as it can be, providing more channels for communication and allowing us to measure the success of initiatives that we are taking forward in a way that simply wasn't possible prior to embarking upon the DCA projects. Communities have identified our website as the #1 priority, and we're currently refreshing that to ensure that we're providing the best possible information for our communities in terms of how they access services, what's available, and providing them with interactive feedback when they contact us. The refresh of the website just about to go live, and that'll deliver a significant boost to the functionality that we can deliver to citizens across the borders, creating that digital front door for a modern council, moving away from a very kind of linear transactional process and trying to encourage a much more rich interaction with regard to our customers, deploying UX design best practice and removing barriers for individuals, regardless of their circumstances, to engage effectively with the council. In doing so, we've obviously clearly considered layouts and designs of the website and tried to ensure that what we're doing is accessible to everybody who needs to use our website, including colour palettes and layouts. And we've done a full content audit of our website in order to ensure that what we deliver as part of that refresh, utilising the website essentially as the council's CRM is as effective as it can possibly be, and puts the customer's needs right at the heart of what we're doing as an organisation. We do think this new interface will help us in terms of our data management. What we're trying to do here really to become a data-driven council. We've not been very good at that. Traditionally, successive best value reviews have told us we've got lots and lots of information, but we don't use it particularly effectively. So what we've really tried to do here is to become an organisation that analyses its data, has really good performance information, and uses that to drive our services to the customer. So, short to medium term, what we're trying to do: give customers more control over their accounts, give partner organisations the opportunity to use our digital front door, use different functionality, for example, text reminders to customers, and better provide better data security around our systems. Behind the scenes, the Jadu development team are in the midst of a process of continual improvement in terms of introducing new workflows, new knowledge management single view of the customer, and really, as I've said already, trying to provide better insights into the standard and quality of our services using data analytics and data sharing principles. What we've really done here is to try and challenge the status quo around the organisation, and keep us in line with best practice around digital innovations. So the longer term, well, looking forward to the My Scott Borders account, trying to really improve our levels of customer satisfaction, with some more specific services provided through our digital customer access platforms. The new technology will allow us to measure how transactions have worked, how successful they've been, gather feedback from individuals, and really report what we've done around issues in real term. And that in turn will allow us to gather data around our key performance measures, our key KPIs as we move forward. Our key initial focus in the longer term to give businesses and organisations the same access that individuals currently enjoy, to really target environment and infrastructure as in terms of automating their processes, to look at our waste services, to integrate systems there, and to drive forward a host of work which will improve the way that we're interacting with our customers. So just sort of coming to the end of the presentation, really supporting our smart rural region with Jadu. We really feel that the partnership we have with Jadu, we can use the data that we have to target investment across the council. And as I said initially, we're kind of in a unique position with our geography to target investment through two major city growth deals: Edinburgh and the southeast of Scotland city region, and indeed the Borderlands deal with our partners in Dumfries and Galway, and indeed councils in the north of England. It really does give us the opportunity to leverage the power of technology to ensure that we can maximise the benefits from these two deals, and they are very, very significant. I mean, the £751 million available through a research and development innovation fund, 25 million for integrated regional employability and skills, £156 million of transport initiatives, 45 million for culture, and 313 million pounds for additional housing, to give you some context around that. So I think I've kind of finished just a wee slide on the Borderlands growth deal. Really trying to leverage the power of data in terms of economic development across the borders. And finally, just building on our strategic values, using technology to ensure that we become the smartest possible rural region that we can be. Yeah, thanks very much, folks. I hope that was interesting, at least not too dull. I'm happy to try and answer any questions that you may have, or indeed I think there are colleagues on the call who are probably better equipped to deal with these than I am. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, David. I mean, that was really insightful. And as I said before you presented, to have a chief executive of a major local authority speak about the work the team has delivered is amazing. And I think all local authority leaders should take a leaf out of your book. There are quite a few questions, and what we'll do is we'll ask a few now, if that's all right, David. And feel free for the Jadu team at SBC to unmute and enable your cameras. I'm just going to pick a few, if that's right. First question, then I'll just pick these up somewhat randomly. With such a large, so this is Tracy Finley who's asked, with such a large elderly population, how have you made your digital services accessible to them? How have you encouraged this demographic to use your online services?
So one of the things that we did during COVID was to roll out iPads across our schools, and kids really embraced that technology. And it started to get us thinking, okay, well, if kids can do it, surely older people can do it. And so we also during COVID rolled our iPads out to older people in all our care homes to ensure that they could communicate effectively with loved ones. And I think that started us on a bit of a journey, really realizing that services, if on online services, if they're well designed, it should be no barrier to adoption around online digital content. My mother-in-law's 80. She always struggled with a laptop and using technology, but give her an iPad and she was off, and you absolutely loving the whole the experience that she could gain online. So I suppose what we've tried to do is to design services in a way that older people, sorry, are comfortable accessing them, seeking their feedback, designing our processes to meet their needs, and I think if you get that process right, then age is no adoption to new technology. Older people like it just as much as younger people do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really insightful approach. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but Apple have just released the latest version of iOS, and it has a brand new feature to enable people who have either sort of neurodiverse issues or the elderly specifically to be able to simplify the entire iOS user interface. So it's big buttons and only the key applications that you will use. Right. So I believe that's available on iPhone and on iPad, and it completely transforms the entire experience. So like things like FaceTime calls or, messages, everything is in a big font. And I think that your approach there is, potentially transformational because everyone sees accessibility as disabilities, right?
Yeah.
But the elderly equally have those needs, and it's an accessibility issue, isn't it?
Absolutely, Siraj, and I think at the heart of what we're trying to do here is to make sure that nobody is digitally excluded, either by age or geography or because of their material circumstances or whatever. We've tried as a council very hard to ensure that there's we're promoting the benefits of digital technology to everyone, and as far as possible, we're trying to adopt an equitable approach to that. Every kid in our school's got an iPad, regardless of their personal circumstances, and ensuring that we try to embrace the digital technology and encourage its use in terms of education and accessing social care and accessing other council services is really important to us.
Yeah, thanks, David. And just a final question before we move on, if that's okay. Gillian has asked, have you adopted a user-centered design approach when moving forms and processes online? And what is your current process from concept to rollout in terms of user research and communications, etc.?
Goodness, that's a good question. So the short answer is yes. I'll maybe bring people in on the call if they wish to talk about the specifics around the process. But what we're trying to do is to design processes which meet the needs of the user. So we're constantly refining what we're doing. We're checking that what we're developing is fit for purpose, that meets people's needs and is the best it can possibly be. So that sort of interactive, iterative process around good design principles and constantly checking that the solutions we're putting in place meet the needs of the customer is absolutely at the heart of what we're trying to do as an organization. There is no use in us digitizing a poor process and making that process poor online. It's got to be meet the needs of the customer, be more efficient and effective than what we had previously. And by testing what we're doing constantly as we develop processes, I think we stand the best possible chance of success.
Yeah, and I love the approach of co-production, working with residents and users directly in the design of the process and not just, the end product. So you do the full cycle at Scottish Borders. You work with customers right at the beginning of the process, you involve them during the design of the process, and then you test with users at the end and then iterate. And I just think that continuous virtual cycle of user-centered design is so important in making sure services are right, accessible, and easy to use.
Absolutely, Siraj, and that was brought home to me very, very strongly in a session that you ran in London, where you had Addy, the accessibility consultant, came along, and he was just to explain to people on the call. He was blind, so he was using voice technology to transcribe what he could see on an airport booking form, and the sheer challenge that the chap faced in trying to book a flight, using that technology, really brought it home to me how much time and effort we have to put into good design to make sure that nobody is digitally excluded. Because what he was facing, with some of the biggest companies in the world, was absolutely mind-blowing in terms of its complexity. So we really need to think very carefully about people who are using our services, involve them in the process, check as we're going, and make sure we're delivering what they need from our services.
Thank you, David. That's a really insightful session. I'm sure there's a huge amount of takeaways. SBC team, if you don't mind answering some of the other questions in the Q&A. Thank you, David.
But thanks, Suraj. Thanks, folks.